Hey folks, Ian from the Zeplin crew here. Today we're going to be talking about our Connected Components beta. Connected Components allows developers to access their components and their code base directly on their designs within Zeplin, with links to Storybook or GitHub or any other source of documentation based on your workflow. In this video, we're going to connect our first component. So here we are within Zeplin, and this is a React web app. If we select an element here, this particular project is connected to a style guide. So if we select a layer, we'll get some additional information. We can see that this is our web header typeface and our brand approved white color. We get a code snippet here, and then this blue header tells us that this is part of a component. In addition, now we have the option to connect this component to code. So that's what we're going to do. So to do that, let's jump over to Visual Studio Code. And before you do this step, you'll need to have installed the Zeplin extension for VS Code. After you do that, hit Command-Shift-P, and we're going to create our Zeplin configuration file. And what this does is it creates this .zeplin folder, as well as our components.json file, which is where all the configuration happens for connected components. The next thing we need to do is log in. So I'll hit Command-Shift-P, and we'll log into Zeplin. We're going to open this link, and that will ask me if I want to connect to VS Code, and I do. So yes, we want to open in Visual Studio Code. And now you can see we're logged in. Okay. So the next thing we want to do is connect to Style Guide. So I'm just going to select Add Style Guide here. And this is in my personal workspace. And it is the My Travel Web Style Guide. Now, the reason I want to add a style guide is because any project that inherits this style guide will also inherit the component and the code that goes along with it. So that's pulled in our style guide here. The next thing we want to do is add a component. And this is our component in code. So I want it to be that card.js, that card component we were looking at. So I'll just type in card there and add that. Next, I want to connect a Zeplin component. And so this is going to pull in all the different components from that style guide that we added. So I'll type in card here, and we'll add this card component. So we're almost done. I'm just going to hit save here, Command-S, and then we need to jump over to the terminal. So before you start this step, you'll need to have installed our CLI and then logged into the CLI. And there are instructions to do how to do that in the documentation. After that, we just need to enter in this command, Zeplin connect. And then we're also going to enter in this -p to let us know, to let Zeplin know that we have a plugin. And we're going to connect this React plugin here since our project is in React and our code is in React. So I'll just hit enter. And awesome, all components are successfully connected on Zeplin. So now, if we go back over to Zeplin, we can see that that component, the code component area is filled out. So we get some documentation about the component, and we get a brief code snippet here, and then we can also open the code in Visual Studio. You might need to configure this if it just says open in default editor. So you just change the folder in Finder and select your root folder. So mine's under documents here, example React components, and I'll just hit select. So now if I hit open in Visual Studio Code, that card.js file will open in VS Code for me. Okay. So the last thing that I'll show you about this component is the style guide that it's coming from. So I'll jump back over to my global style guides over here and go into this My Travel Web. This is the style guide that we used. And so it is a web component in here. And I'll just search for card. And you can see over here, we have that same component. It's the same code that we hooked up earlier. And so now any project that inherits the style guide will also inherit the code connected to it as well. Okay, that's it. So thank you so much for listening. We're really excited for you to use connected components. If you have any questions, please email us at beta@zeplin.io and let us know if you have any questions. Don't be shy, and enjoy connected components. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.